Hello, we are so excited that you have decided to join an info session about the One Utah Service Fellowship and the many opportunities for young adults throughout the state of Utah. The One Utah Service Fellowship is a partnership with Utah State University's Community Engagement Center and works with many nonprofits, government agencies, and college and universities throughout the state of Utah to provide some amazing opportunities throughout the state. This model of national service began in 2024, and we are excited to continue its growth. Before we get started, we are going to have a little bit more information from AmeriCorps, which is one of our funders. So, as I said, the One Utah Service Fellowship is a model of national service. So, really, what that means is the fellowship is a state-supported AmeriCorps program, and we provide all of these opportunities for young adults to participate in sustainable, high-impact service addressing the critical priorities and needs across the state. We see the fellowship and the service that these AmeriCorps members provide as a solution to some of the priorities and some of the things that need to be addressed throughout the state. We have three main goals in the fellowship. The first is to create a generation of civic-minded leaders. We want to help develop young adults so that they have the ability to bridge divides, to solve problems, to think outside themselves, to engage in their communities. We also help Utah students graduate college on time and with less debt, giving them those keys to success. And then the third is to address the societal challenges and help build healthier, safer, and more educated communities across the state. So really, what does the fellowship program do? Well, we work kind of in a beneficial way. So the first is we provide low cost support to schools, nonprofits, and government agencies for direct services or capacity building. And I know those are kind of glitchy words, so we'll talk about that a little bit more soon. We also provide these meaningful and practical service opportunities for young adults. So rather than having young adults just try and go find something themselves, we curate this experience with some mentorship as well as within some confines. And then the third is we provide Utah communities with more of what they need, more bodies, more services, more support, etc. You may ask, well, why should I participate? Well, think of it this way. You become an asset to your community. You are serving them, you are adding to support, And it looks great on your resume, let's be honest. So we have two areas that we generally support. We work with non-students, so gap year, those who are just young adults who have either they may have gone to college and maybe finished, or they may have just not started college at all, or any other higher education, so post-secondary pursuits, so tech school, apprenticeships, etc. So we use the fellowship and we promote the fellowship to help these gap year or non-student young adults gain experience, more professional development, and then allow them to dabble, into pursuits that they might be interested in without having to make, a career commitment. In order, we also provide this living allowance and some additional money towards college or tech school or other post-secondary pursuits during this time as well. As I said, we also work with young adults who are currently students who are receiving any type of higher education. So effectively participating in the program means getting financial support during the time that you're spending in class, that you're completing required clinical or practicum or externship hours while you're getting credits in order to receive your certificates or degrees. Everybody who participates has the same eligibility requirements. So for everyone, you must complete all of the hours in the state of Utah. You must be at least 17 years of age in order to apply. And as well, you must have completed high school or have your GED. One of the main things is you must be able to pass a state and federal background check. Keep in mind that passing really just means you haven't been convicted of murder or you haven't been convicted of an offense that requires you to be on a sex offender registry. That means that you are automatically ineligible for the program. Any other convictions, traffic tickets, anything else that might come back on a background check does not make you ineligible. You would still be able to pass one of those background checks. There just might be an additional step. And then finally, at this point, you must be a U.S. citizen, national, or legal permanent resident, meaning you have a green card. If you are an international student at this time or are a DACA recipient, unfortunately, you would not be eligible for this program. In the 25-26 program year, we are looking to serve 900 individuals to bring them in and have them complete a term of service. This is across the state of Utah, from Logan to St. George, from Tooele to Moab, Uinta counties. We really look to support individuals across the state. So a little bit more about the service. So each individual completes what we call a term of service. A term of service is just a specified unit of hours in which members complete member development, direct service, and at least one volunteer mobilization project. As I stated earlier, all of the terms have the same qualification process and the same requirements in order to be successful. Although each term will range in length, hours completed during the month, and the maximum number of member development hours allowed. We have various term lengths available. So for our individual placements and our YES team, and we'll talk a little bit more about them later, we have 1,700 to 675 hours to 1,700 hours. So this is a part-time to a full-time, so up to 40 hours a week. Or for our college affiliated placements, we strive to be able to match a term of service with a semester or an academic year, and so they have 100 to 675 hour placements instead. Keeping in mind that for our individual placements and our YES team, these are considered terms of service that are completed to not necessarily work around school. They might work around other activities or something else that you have going on. Our college affiliated placements are not in addition to your coursework in the same in a similar way. So the mechanism that we have built in with these college affiliated placements in most cases are that these are the hours that you are required to be completing for your degree or your certificate, and that's why they match so well. A little bit more about individual placements. So these are open to recent high school graduates and other young adults from all backgrounds. These placements work with local nonprofits, government agencies, and community organizations across the state. In most cases, you would be the only One Utah Service Fellowship member at that site. This is great if you're interested in public health, education, civic engagement, things like that. This is the most powerful way to give back and to really make an impact on an individual level. Our OUSF Yes team, so this is our youth engagement support team, engages middle school and high school students gets them connected to mental health resources and supports academic success. So you are acting as a navigator for students, helping them boost their engagement, their well-being, and their community connections. This is through a partnership with the Youth Mental Health Corps, and so you would be able to receive some additional credentials by the time you've completed your service with the OUSF Yes team. This is a very exciting opportunity. And then finally, just back to those college affiliated programs. Right now, we work with 8 universities throughout the state of Utah. Each college gets to decide which programs they want to support with a fellowship affiliation. So we have a Healthy Futures focus, education focus, and then also the capacity building focus. So each individual school supports whichever program they think is the most beneficial at the time. So definitely, if you're interested, we will get you connected at the school if you're currently a student or you're going to become a student in the future. So what does service actually look like? We've kind of a catchword, right? So in capacity building is supporting expanding services to underserved or rural populations. You're generally going to be working with nonprofit or government agencies who are meeting the needs of their community. So there's 3 areas that we normally see fellows working in. So operations support, so doing a lot of assisting in execution, research and development, implementing systems, learning new programs so you can train others on new programs and things like that. Service capacity, so supporting short-term projects that can be completed from the start of your term to the end of your term, which helps increase the organization's ability to serve more people. And then community engagement is actually really popular, especially in terms of getting outreach, letting other people know what services are available. Social media support this year, or in the 24-25 year, was one of the highest requested skills that they see young adults have and they need more of. So capacity building, again, this is largely our individual placements and some service centers at the university or college and universities. We also have the education focus area. These are young adults who are learning and working, serving these K-12 students or K-16 students if they're working on college access support. So tutoring, student teaching, after school clubs, mentoring. There are programs that also do college success, things like that. And the final focus area is Healthy Futures. Most of these members are going into healthcare in the future, and they're very aware. They do participate in the majority of these are current college students, nursing, respiratory therapy, dental hygiene, etc. But the YES team, our youth mental health core, are also working in this healthy futures focus area, helping to provide assessment, and then helping to provide some services, community events, and so forth. If you have any more questions in regards to what a fellow or a OUSF AmeriCorps member is able to do, or you have some ideas, please let us know. We will have our contact information at the end. Just before we go, I'm going to talk about some of the program benefits because those are awesome. One of the great things about this fellowship is it's considered non-competitive funding, which means if you become an OUSF AmeriCorps member and you complete your term of service with the requirements, that all of these benefits are yours. There's no race to the finish line. Just because someone else completes their term of service first doesn't mean that you lose out on anything. Once you've started the program, when you end the program, and during the program, these are the benefits that you have available to you. So the first is our twice monthly living stipend. These are paid out in equal disbursements twice a month, which means you have your total and it's broken down by how many pay periods that you are serving. So your start date to your end date, equal disbursements. So it's not based in how many hours you do. It's just you have that benefit of knowing exactly how much you're going to be paid out. This is paid directly to your bank account, so via direct deposit. And one thing to keep in mind is that the basic minimum living allowances are 10 times the minimum number of hours. So, for example, a 1,200-hour term, the least amount that you would be eligible for is $12,000. Keep in mind that in most cases, for non-students, so for those who are not participating as part of an academic program, the living allowance is more than that 10 times minimum. So when you're looking at opportunities, definitely make sure that you pay attention to what that amount is. The second major benefit is the Eli Segal AmeriCorps Education Award. This can be used in several ways. Most commonly, we see it used to repay qualified student loans, to pay for current or future educational expenses up to the cost of attendance. So in addition to paying for tuition, it can also pay fees, it can pay books, it can pay housing, it can pay food, it can pay travel. It can pay a lot of things. But also something to keep in mind is that you don't have to go to a traditional college. You don't have to go to a four-year college. You can go to massage school. You can go to culinary school. You can do a trade if you want to. We've seen the Education Award being used to go to schools overseas for study abroad. You can use them at, there are various new opportunities where you can take the Education Award and pay for a backpacking trip. Or to travel abroad, just to travel. So there are many ways to use this Education Award. This is a post-service award, so you have to complete your service in order to get this amount of funding. Keep in mind, you can also save it for up to 7 years if you're not sure what you want to do with it. You also don't have to use this amount all at one time. You can use a portion of it, you can use multiple. If you do multiple terms of service, it's really up to you. Another benefit is the member assistance program. So this gives you free access to mental health sessions and life management referrals, life coaching, financial services, personal assistant, medical advocacy, legal consults, and very exclusive discounts on entertainment, gifts, travel, and more. Other events that we have throughout the year include a fall networking reception, our Generation Volunteer Summit, a National Service Day on the Hill, our National AmeriCorps Week, and all of the goodies that come with it. We tend to do various drawings throughout that week for interaction, which is pretty cool. We have our You Serve AmeriCorps member gathering and our spring reception with the governor. We pull out all the stops. It's a nice semi-formal affair with a yummy free dinner and various other activities. And then just other benefits to mention. So a certificate of completion and an optional letter of recommendation if you would like. Other professional networking opportunities. You get to join a network of more than 1 million other alumni at the end of your service, which is pretty cool. Loan forbearance and loan interest payments. And then if you participate in higher education at any point, you would be eligible to receive some graduation regalia as well. All right. That is the end of the benefits. Here is a little bit more about how to apply. I encourage you to find our website, www.oneutahservice.org, and then also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Just stay connected. We have several opportunities available on our website. You can learn more about the youth engagement support team, other individual placements or university programs. If you just want to stay connected and have us send you the new opportunities that are available, I encourage you to get connected on our fellowship wait list. That is my contact information. Please feel free to get connected with us at any time. Again, our website is www.oneutahservice, all spelled out, .org. Have a great night.